Hello, I'm Maeve from Mebs, or Mebs Veg on Instagram if you follow. I'm teaming up today with Otofu to bring you a nice little Christmas roast for your dinner, or just for a sandwich, you know, or a sandwich. I heard someone actually call it a sandwich yesterday and it brought me so much happiness. First things first, I'm going to make myself some mulled wine, so this is a little bit easier. Measure it with my heart. It's like that 2 shots of vodka lady. 2 shots of mulled wine. This is my mulled syrup. I'm at the market if you want any. But you just add a little to your wine and the cap. So as I said, teaming up with Otofu, and I couldn't be happier because it's tofu from Cork, and who would ever thought that would happen? I didn't, but then again, I'm not from Cork, so. Alright, first things first. I think I said that twice now, so this is second things. Second. Take a clean kitchen towel. Wrap it a few times. Okay. Another board on top. I'm using Mr. Elefante. And something heavy. Like a book. It's just what I had. I'm gonna get another book. A few more books. You can put on as many, not too many, in case something terrible happens, but leave that for 15 minutes, drink your mulled wine. Hey Google, timer 15 minutes. Stop. Alright, take the books off, even if you had books. Maybe you don't read. I don't. Unwrap the tofu. It should be nice and full. Next, we're going to, about halfway through, give it just a little score time. Just be careful not to go all the way. Alright, get a little container, about tofu sized. Put your tofu in that. Done. Okay, now we're gonna make the marinade. I'm so sorry. Some black peppercorns. 5 of them. Not those yet. Do a little chili flake. About a teaspoon. You can leave those out if you hate spice. A bayleaf. And apple cider vinegar. About a tablespoon. If you can get it all in there. We're gonna go in with some liquid smoke. You can get this in probably the Key Co-op and everything, but I got this one in the good food shop in the English market. Let's do a teaspoon. Just give it a little je ne sais quoi. We're gonna go with. I also didn't do French in school, so I have no idea what je ne sais quoi means, but I hear people say it a lot. Tomato paste for color, teaspoon. 100 mils tamari or soy sauce, same thing. One has gluten, one does not. Not going to tell you which one is which, just because I'll save those for later too. Alright, I think we're good then. We've got those things. We need a little pot. And we're gonna do like 50 mils of water. Give it a quick stir. Will we go well? Just do a tiny little bit of salt. You could also just measure this into the pot, that saves time. If you're not wanting to boil it as well, you can just put it straight in, but I feel like it might help it infuse things a bit better. I'm gonna do 30 minutes, but you can do overnight, and then you'll have less work on Christmas, and also it'll be nicer as well. We can make the glaze. So I'm going with maple syrup to keep it vegan, but you can also use honey if you want to. Let's go two of those. A teeny tiny little teeny tiny drop more. One onion. I recommend taking off the skin, but if you like crunch, you know, be my guest. All of this is kind of for probably like one person if you want to keep some for like leftovers. Make a sandwich out of it. But if you're not into that though, just it'll feed two. But it's Christmas, so you know. So fine dicing the onions. Get a little pot or pan. One clove of garlic. Smash it. Smash it carefully. Don't cut yourself. Squish it. You can also just chop it really fine if you don't want to do this. Stick those both into a pan on like medium heat. A touch of salt, help them cook. Give them a stir. Also some smoked sun-dried tomatoes. Gonna go, one is enough for one person, but if you're doing two, do two. As for everything, except for the marinade, you could probably do that for two people. And we're gonna dice this finely again. This as well, you can get in Superfruit, an English market, or West Cork Olives, I think, have them. And that is your fine dice. You can add that into the pot now too. Well, that's cooking. Whole grain mustard. Let's do, yeah, about a teaspoon. A heap spoon. And some ground nutmeg. You just measure that with your heart as well, but around a quarter teaspoon. We're gonna get our cloves ready. I'm gonna look at this later and just have wine. Have a little wine mustache. You're welcome. Alright, once they kind of have colored just a little, they are going to color more when they're on your tofu in the oven. We're not going to put them on from the start, but they will color a little. Just mix that all up. I'm excited. Okay, I think it needs slightest a bit of acidity. So we'll go with a drop of apple cider again. Quarter teaspoon of that. Yeah, okay. Set that aside. Alright, so your tofu's been sitting in its little brine for a little while. It's been chilling. You give it a little poke. Okay. You do want to be a little careful transferring this just because it might fall in half or something. Good. And in. I'm going to get the cloves. You don't want that many, but you want as many as, like, you can either put them in between the little crisscrosses you've made, which is probably going to be more, or you can just go on top like in the middle of each of the squares. So just do that. It'll take a minute, but it'll be worth it. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's fun. It brings the ham, brings that ham joy. All right, I ended up using 32 cloves. If you don't want to be that frivolous with cloves, you can use less. It'll still be good. Now we're gonna go with an olive oil and just cover it. Cover it in olive oil. That's what's gonna make it nice and crispy when you bake it. Before this as well, you should preheat your oven to about 200 fan or whatever you have. I don't know, 8 gas? That's a guess. You have to look it up. Oily little tofu block. It reminds me of pineapple and clove thing. Is that a thing? You could put pineapple on it if you were crazy. Okay, middle of the oven. I'm gonna leave it for half an hour. It'll probably need another like 20 minutes, I'm guessing, but we'll find out together. And until then, I'm gonna make some stuffing. All right, it's been it's been about half an hour. I'm gonna check how it is. I'm crying because I was just cutting onions, so you'll have to forgive me. Ooh, this is how we're currently looking. Real good, real good. All right, so I'm gonna do the first glazing. Say we'll do 2, probably do 2. You can tell I've practiced this recipe multiple times. A little brush of sorts. If you don't have a brush, I don't know what you could do. You'll think of something. I know it. Okay. Going back in the oven for 10 minutes. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. This looks bloody class already. Okay, excuse my little claw. Alright, I'm gonna half the recipe of the glaze because that'll do 2. I'm sure there's no point wasting it. Go back in, another 10. Alrighty, it's been 10 minutes and we're gonna take it out and see how it is. It's so good. There we go. Just carefully make sure it's unstuck to all the sides before you do your final pull up because you don't want to tear off a piece. But it's fine if you do as well, because I don't mind. Alright. It's just caramelized, just a little crispy. I'm gonna mess around with my cloves so I can take nice photos, but you should take them off. Okay, my battery's running out, so this is what you're getting. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy the tofu if you make it. And if you don't want to make this one, Maeve and Ronan did a lovely recipe last year as well that's on their Instagram. You can check it out. And that's all from me at Mebs. I hope you enjoy this recipe.